Captain Black Falcon America Man has officially been in theaters for 2 whole months, and yeah, finally it is crawling its way towards that $200 million domestic box office, and by hook or by crook, Marvel is going to find a way to push it over that finish line. They put out, okay, now that I think about it, I don't have a tweet or anything like that put up there, but when they put out that fake, phony, erroneous $180 million budget, which is just, it's so farcical on the face of it, but even just going with that, okay, then you had a bunch of other experts out there push the idea that, oh yeah, 425, that's going to be the break even for this film. But Marvel just, Disney and its infinite hubris. We talked about this yesterday with Snow White still being inextricably still being in 3,500 theaters. Captain Black Falcon America Man, okay, making, I forget, like, how much money over this past weekend? $1 million. It's still in 1,700 theaters? Taking in $774 over a weekend in theaters. Bro, what are we doing? They're just going to leave it in there, okay? They're going to leave it in the theaters long enough for it to hit that 425 and then pull out just so all of the shills, okay? Just so all of the shills can say, take that, chuds, it broke even. When in actuality, it's like everybody knows this film lost a considerable amount of money, and Disney can continue to let all of their little bots fight all of their ground battles. Meanwhile, they're losing their ass on all of these Marvel projects, okay? Because you can continue to lie about it all you want, but yeah, they finally crawls towards $200 million at the box office after 8-week run in theaters. 8 weeks. Here's the thing, man. They just have to keep it in the theaters for another 3 weeks in order to pass this ice-cold baton off to the next Marvel project. I think that's what they're going to do, okay? I don't know if this was their plan beforehand, like if this thing properly cashed out and then it had the natural drop off. Like if it made $500 million at the box office, still wouldn't have broke even because the $180 million budget is very likely what it initially cost before the second and third rounds of reshoots. So yeah, we all know that this thing cost somewhere in on and around what at least the trades are leaking, you know, with some of the projected budgets for Snow White north of $350 million, somewhere in that area. Because yeah, it was a similar production schedule for Captain America Brave New World. We know this. There is documented proof of this. There are people that have worked on all different cuts of this that have come out and said that this is a Frankenstein's monster of a project. So that $180 million is an absolute absurd claim, but they'll continue to run with it. And if it manages to just cross over that 125, which I kind of think is going to be the case, at least in 3 weeks' time before we can move over to the Thunderbolts, which looks absolutely atrocious. And coming out of CinemaCon, everybody got their marching orders that this is going to be, it's going to be A24. It's going to be Marvel's A24 movie. Oh, look at that. It's a gritty and down-to-earth superhero film, which was the exact same shit we heard about this. So yeah, it's just going to be, man, I talked about it yesterday with just the Minecraft movie being just bereft of creativity for adapting a game, okay, just vampirizing an IP like that, where it's just built on creativity, and you do something like that. You take a look at what Marvel has. You have just about 100 years of source material, and then you just craft, you don't even do anything that's based on the books anymore, which is just, it's a different conversation to have, because when it comes to adaptations, I don't really care all that much, just as long as you're telling a good story. But if you can't make a good story, go to the books. This is what sucks about Marvel films in today's day and age. They just want to jangle the keys, okay, which is exactly what they did with that Doomsday shit. Oh, you remember names? You remember this? You remember the good times? You remember the X-Men? You remember the Fantastic Four? You remember the Thunderbolts? Oh, no, you don't? Well, that's all right. You can come in and you can get familiarized with the Thunderbolts. Well, apparently not too many people are going to take you up on that offer, Marvel, because the long-range forecast, for the Thunderbolts, not looking good. Not looking good. But then again, last time we looked at long-term projections for a film, that was the Minecraft movie, and it went absolutely through the roof. But yeah, for Memorial Day long weekend, which it's going to be interesting, right? It's going to be interesting because Minecraft could still, it could end up being that giga hit that makes, very likely going to make $1 billion, and, just cinema dies a little bit more, and that's going to end up being the case where it's going to be in the conversation. It's very oh, oof, ow, ow. That one actually just hit me and really did hurt me. I'm thinking that at the end of the year, like the three biggest films are going to be Avatar Part 3, Jurassic World Part 25, and then the Minecraft movie. Wow. Oof, I gotta go. I just gotta go walk around in the dark or something like that. That's, wow. Anyways, yeah, the Thunderbolts at least isn't going to make a lot of money, but they're going to be a central team for Doomsday, which if you've seen those leaks, yeah, just the 30,000 foot view on what we're hearing coming out of the Doomsday movie is that you're going to have the different epochs, right? You're going to have whatever the Avengers look like, the Thunderbolts, whatever's left of them, even though we can kind of very obviously piece together that Taskmaster gets killed off by somebody, and then that's what the Thunderbolts do in order to try to uncover that when they realize that, yeah, it's actually going to be Sentry's alter ego, which is, yeah, spoilers, Sentry is Marvel's Superman gone bad take, and his ultimate nemesis is the Void, which is his split personality. So that's the guy that you've seen in the trailers, you know, just turning people to shadows, and yeah, they're gonna have to take him out, but Sentry's going to be on the team because he's already been announced for Doomsday alongside everybody that's not the Taskmaster. So they're going to be a part of one of the teams alongside the Wakandans, the other Avengers, and the old X-Men to take on Doom, which it's, again, just another ripoff of Infinity War, which was already a poor ripoff and adaptation of the Infinity Gauntlet saga from the 80s. And it's, we're reheating leftovers from a month and a half ago at this point in time when it comes to creativity and cinema. But at least in one aspect of this cape shit that's been going on for far too long, people are kind of getting fed up with it. But if they're rewarding Minecraft, it's like, I don't even know what's better at this point in time. So yeah, the opening weekend range of 65 to 85 million. Now, is that for the 3-day? Okay, yeah, it is for the 3-day. Oh, no, the Captain America. Let's read into this. Following a quasi-rest year in which Marvel Studios released only, yes, Deadpool and Wolverine. Hilarious, right? Like, that's another movie that made all of the money. And then how many people look back fondly on that outside of, yeah, it was cool to see Wesley Snipes. That was fun. How about we do an Old Man Blade movie? Nobody ever talks about the film as it is. They just talk about what's coming up next. Now the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time. I legitimately can't wait for Mahler's like 7-hour long breakdown of that movie. I'd imagine that's one of the big projects that he's working on. I don't know for sure, but the way that he talks about. Anyways, domestically and globally, the MCU has gotten off to a rocky start in 2025, debuting Captain Black Falcon America Man to a modest 88.8 million over a 3-day President's Weekend. Yeah, 4-day made $100 million. Yeah, in subsequent weeks, yeah, the title failed to pick up steam, grossing 188 million domestically. First 5 weeks, yeah, but it'll get there. It'll get to that quote-unquote break-even mark. Thunderbolts, an anti-hero team-up film featuring familiar characters from Marvel Studios, yeah, blah, 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 will have more competition over its first month than Brave New World did. Yeah, because Mission Impossible, the final chapter, which I hope is better than, what was it? Oh my god, Dead Reckoning Part 1, which is no longer Part 1, which is just Dead Reckoning, and this was supposed to be Part 2, but now it's just going to be the final chapter. I hope it's better. I don't think it will be, because that's going to be a retooled script after the first part failed. I don't know, man. And then Lilo and Stitch, another creatively bankrupt film, and The Karate Kid. I mean, how what is that? The third supposed? Well, I guess if you count Cobra Kai, what, the fourth supposed Karate Kid reboot? Oh my god! All opening, yeah, later in May. Which, it's interesting. Yeah, after its opening weekend, premium format real estate will be harder for the Thunderbolts, which is, yeah, kind of what I'm. Because Disney's really all in when it comes to the marketing on Lilo and Stitch. The Thunderbolts, they're starting to pick up steam on that one, releasing a few more behind-the-scenes things, really pushing it hard on a couple of the sports apps that I follow just to stay abreast of some news. So yeah, they're starting to push this. It's just, if the film's not going to end up doing all that well, I don't really know how much Disney is going to get behind this. Marvel Studios may be facing yet another uphill battle at the box office. First box office projections for the Thunderbolts Thunderbolts are in, and they paint a concerning picture for the film already carrying a hefty production price tag. Okay, according to industry estimates, the movie is expected to earn between 65 85 million during its opening domestic weekend, a modest debut for a film with a reported $200 million budget. Oh yeah, that's going to be another spin on this, okay, because they think, okay, this is insiders talking, that this film right here, the Thunderbolts, which we already know what the asterisk is, so people asking, oh, did they tell you what the asterisk means? Like, it was on some fucking poster, some Algerian poster or some shit like that, and it's just, yeah, alluding to the fact that, yeah, the Thunderbolts you see after this film, yeah, it's probably going to be bereft of a couple of the characters that you've come to know and love. Not catastrophic on the surface. That range places the Thunderbolts well below recent superhero outings. Yes, Deadpool and Wolverine, 211, and Captain Black Falcon America Man, 88 million. Yeah. So if this thing comes in and people are either still enamored by Minecraft, or they're just gonna, I don't know, skip this one because they know they're gonna get re-debuted in a year's time for Doomsday, it's gonna be tough. It's going to be tough going for this film that I'm not cheering for at all whatsoever. There's no characters that I'm excited by, well, except U.S. Agent. Okay, John Walker did nothing wrong and Bucky's been absolutely destroyed, but the rest of the stuff, like, the fuck do I care about little stupid Florence Pugh or champagne socialist David Harbour, big fat punching bag, Red Guardian, just a fatter, more pathetic and taller version of Jack Black. Like, so wild how white guys in films now can realistically only get steady work if they are just, you know, the butt of every joke. Very strange. In fact, yes, Brave New World, a film tied, yes, to the legacy of Steve Rogers and carrying the way to the Captain America brand, has yet to cross $200 million domestically after 8 weeks in theaters. Oh, but it will in its 9th. Don't worry about it. Its current, yes, worldwide gross sits at 411, falling short of what many would consider a safe margin given its extensive marketing campaign and blockbuster expectations, and also open highway. So that's going to be, yeah, it's interesting, right? Because there is a lot of competition, and at least a little bit of hope when it comes to, even though it's like, yeah, it's Fallout, talking Mission Impossible there, it's like Fallout and then a steep drop off when it comes to quality from the rest of the films in that franchise that is what, in its 3rd decade. I hope it's good. I don't know if it will be. It's not going to be enough to entice me back to the theaters. And as for the rest of April, the cringe is not going to be simply contained to the theaters as this weekend. This weekend, we have the debut of the final season of Doctor Who and The Last of Us Part 2, or Season 2, which is going to be adapting The Last of Us Part 2. It debuts on Sunday, which, God damn it, man, all of this, it's a lot. As somebody who is a lifelong gamer, somebody who used to enjoy a broadcast and a premiere television, and used to be excited about going to the theaters, we are living through the worst time. Thank God at least we got The Lord of the Rings, because outside of that, man, your entertainment has been hijacked by a bunch of idiots and by a bunch of do-nothing conservatives that just thought that all of this shit was simply for children, and now they wonder why everybody has been programmed and subversed with the worst messaging possible. Well, you gave up on all this shit, and now we're having to wade through this bullshit to hopefully get out the other side. Thanks again, boomers. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.